Hello, I'm Harish Saluja, and this is my first attempt at telling a story on camera through this video podcast. I have been posting audio podcasts of old Hindi and Urdu songs and ghazals. It's called Harish Saluja's A House at the Crossroads. A House at the Crossroads. You can check it on iTunes and so forth. So hopefully I'll learn and get better at doing this. So this first one is a small incident and a story from the past. So there is an old ghazal, love poem, by Sudarshan Fakir. And it goes something like this. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. It's कुछ तो दुनिया की इनायत ने दिल तोड़ दिया, कुछ तो दुनिया की इनायत ने दिल तोड़ दिया, और कुछ तलखिए हालात ने दिल तोड़ दिया. And then it has lines like वो मेरे हैं मुझे मिल जाएंगे आ जाएंगे वो, ऐसे बेकार ख्यालात ने दिल तोड़ दिया, and so forth. Nice ghazal is sung by Begum Akhtar. And then it has a couplet, a sher, two lines, which are kind of weird. The first time I heard it, it didn't make sense. I mean, it's a simple love poem and all that, but then it says, हम तो समझे थे कि बरसात में बरसेगी शराब. हम तो समझे थे कि बरसात में बरसेगी शराब, आई बरसात तो बरसात ने दिल तोड़ दिया. So the first time I heard it, I said, for those who want translation, it says that I was under the impression that when the rainy season comes, barsat, wine would come down as rain. So I've been expecting wine during the rainy season as rain. And when the rains came, they too broke my heart. All right, that's kind of weird. Anyway, time passed, and then one day I figured it out. You see, we often raise our expectations and make perhaps have absurd hopes that success will come, huge success will come, and fame and fortune or whatever we all are waiting for, love or anything else. And sometimes it's fantastic. And so when it does not come, it disappoints us anyhow. But to start with, it was absurd, and we knew it was absurd. And yet we go and build these dreams, absurd dreams, and then we complain or are sad and disappointed that it didn't happen. Anyways, it's interesting. So this is a long time ago, and I was in Chandigarh. Those days we used to buy albums, vinyls, albums, and so forth. Old stores used to have booths where you could take an album and go to a little booth and put on headphones or not, and then listen to a few cuts on the record, and then decide which records you wanted to buy. That started changing over time with CDs came and so forth. Anyway, went to this store. Every time I would go to India, I would buy a bunch of records so I can listen to them and then play them on my radio program, which I had for more than 40 years with Dr. Vijay Bal on the radio station here. Anyway, so here I was in Chandigarh, and I went to buy some records. I was going to buy a dozen or more records and so forth. So I go to this store in whichever sector in Chandigarh, and they didn't have the booths anymore. It had changed, and all the records were lined up on the wall behind the counter. And at the counter, there was a young guy wearing jeans and T-shirt and some absurd message in the T-shirt, and very hip young kid. And he was attending to some of the customers, and they were buying stupid stuff, like many of the popular Punjabi songs, all Punjabi songs which have hoy, 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 hoy in it and all that. and he knew all about it, So he's young. He knows these things, So I waited and I waited. The trouble is, I want to go through the albums and touch them and pull them out and read it, and I know what I want and so forth. So in between, he looks at me and says, "Uncle, what do you need?" I said, "It's okay. I'm just looking, but I can't see really because they are all lined up. I can't see the face of the albums." And then in between, he comes to me, he says, "Tell me what you want." And I said, "Look, I, I don't think you would know what I want. I need some recommendations on new albums." He says, "Oh, we got all kinds of albums, Shera this and Who this and all." So I kept quiet, and then it comes back again. I was getting very irritated. I mean, I said, "I wish I could go and go in there." He says, "Sir, that's not allowed." So, "Well, you tell me what you want." Anyway, so I said, I was about to walk out. Bloody, insolent, arrogant little Punjabi, Anyway, so then later on I said, "Look, I want ghazals." He says, "Oh, okay, we got ghazal. We got Pankaj Udhas." And I said, "No, I don't like Pankaj Udhas, So what do you want?" So I said, things like Mehndi Hasan, Jagjit Singh, Begum Akhtar, and so forth. He's busy with the other people, and so forth. And then he looks at me and says, "हम तो समझे थे कि बरसात में बरसेगी शराब." Oh my God. I said, "Beg your pardon?" He says, "हम तो समझे थे कि बरसात में बरसेगी शराब, आई बरसात तो बरसात ने दिल तोड़ दिया." He recited that difficult, or the couplet I was talking about, that I thought I had expectations that wine would come down as rain. He knew it, and and I had, of course, judged him simply because of his appearance and his age, and the way he was selling hoy hoy songs to other people and so forth. He knew a lot. I spent a lot of time there, bought lots of records. Great memory. So I'm going to have more stories, longer ones, many of them which are going in my book, also called House at the Crossroads. Hopefully you listen. If you like this little nonsense, please share it with your friends. Thanks.